Hello, my name is Harold, this is TechonTech, and do I have a treat for you today? But first, this video took a month of work to get together, so if you enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It totally helps out the channel, and I thank you for it. So, started back in 2010, 2B2T is recognized to be the oldest Anarchy server in Minecraft. That is not the oldest server, but the oldest Anarchy server, which is kind of like a server with no real rule base. Things like griefing, stealing, and seriously bad language are all things you can expect to run into. Entire channels have actually been created documenting 2B2T and its incredibly rich history. One of those channels I highly recommend is FitMC, who regularly covers tidbits of this history. I should also add that Mr. Beast himself actually tried to make a video on 2B2T, but the player base banded together and drove him off because they didn't want 2B2T to gain any more notoriety. You see, on any given day, the queue for 2B2T can be over 400 people deep, which based on its size and ability means you can expect to wait up to 8 hours plus in queue to get into the server. Now there is a priority queue you can pay for, but I feel that even that may be approaching its limit and it's just impossible to get into the server these days. So what's to be done? Well, what if I told you that you could download the entire 2B2T map, put it on your own server, and then you and other people can connect and then play on it, like your own personal 2B2T server. Well, that's what I spent the last month doing, and it is glorious. You see, a group of autists, their own self-proclaimed language, one of which I know to be a confirmed 2B2T veteran, spent months downloading all of 2B2T Spawn. That's 128,000 blocks in every direction. It's 1.1 terabytes, completely downloadable by torrent, but even with the better connection, it can still take some real time to download it. But that is exactly what I did. I would need a computer capable of running this. It doesn't have to be particularly powerful, but does need some level of power. But more importantly, it's got to have the RAM and the hard drive to be able to work with these 1.1 terabyte data sets. So I put together a Ryzen 2600X. Think of it like my bench system, an NVIDIA 960, 32 gigs of RAM, and an 8 terabyte Barracuda from Seagate. Noted a solid state drive would have been better for this, but I am also working with what I have, so bear with. Alright, so this is the computer that I set up to handle everything. Let me go ahead and pull up Task Manager here. Let me show you what we're working with. Performance, okay, this is the Ryzen 5 2600 6-core processor. It has approximately 12 logical cores, and this thing works great, by the way. I could have notably done it with less power, but I thought this worked great. 32 gigs of memory, which really helped. A 960 or a GTX 960. And lastly, a 8 terabyte drive, which after putting everything together, took about half of it. Alright, so the first step was to download the 2B2T file, and that's pretty simple to find. If we go online, there it goes. Alright, let's try that again. Internet was really good for a second. Alright, first thing we needed to do was get the 2B2T world information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search for download2b2t.com. We're going to go to this first one. Nope, correction. The second one here. And then we're also going to need a copy of a torrenting program, like, for instance, say uTorrent. So I'm actually going to grab a copy of that. I'll kind of walk you through some of this. I can allow that. Okay, so 2B2T mapping project. I should note that because this isn't technically like any number of other things that you can download. You're not going to be given a problem by your ISP complaining about it, like if you were downloading something that you're not supposed to. So it's literally just a matter of downloading the torrent program, installing the torrent program, and then going down, let's see if we can find it here. In fact, let's blow this up. The torrent itself, which is probably have to click on this. Okay. See, I agree to the installation. I'm going to skip all the offers. Download that. Download in the comments. Let me view all of the comments. Here we go. Here is the torrent link right here. Here's the magnet if you want to plug it directly in. So it's just a matter of getting the torrent program installed, downloading or clicking on the torrent, and then downloading the entire thing into this file right here. 2B2T 256K spawn download. Let me right click on that and then left click to show you what the file size is. It is massive. I think before extraction it comes out to something like 678 gigabytes. After extraction it comes out to something, okay, yeah, there we go. It's going to come out to something like 1.06 terabytes. Now, before I install it, what I needed to do was install a copy of Java SDK. So, we head over, do a search for Java SDK, go over to Java Downloads, and install this copy for Windows right here, this installer file, and then installing it. We need Java in order to run the Minecraft server itself. Speaking of which, that's the next step, which is to grab a copy of the Java Minecraft server. You know, it's funny, 2B2T, I don't even think to this day have updated, but don't count me on that, I could be wrong on it. And I always wondered about this because integrating this dataset with a new server was kind of a piece of cake. In fact, I was able to do this pretty easily, so I'm not sure. There actually could be some problem with the player information and stuff like that. I should note that this does not technically have player information, it's just world information. So what I basically did next is I downloaded the Minecraft server. We see, here we go on the left here, 1.06 terabytes, massive. Now, I downloaded the server via this link here and then ran it using the following command. As you know from the Emula, you have to go in and then change this to true and then save it. And then what you're left with is, go ahead and go into CMD here. We're going to go ahead and go into the folder here where I put the Minecraft server, copy and then paste. Then once I'm in that server, we launch the command to fire up the server. In fact, let me check the name, server.jar. All right, so we're going to go ahead and paste that. I also, guys, if you want me to do an extended video later on how to launch and run a Minecraft server, I would love to do like some Minecraft server videos. Hold on. Okay, now before I launch the server, I should add that I did one more thing. Once I launched the server for the first time, it created a bunch of files here, including these world files. It was literally just a matter of going in, copying region, icon, and level.dat, and then copying them over level.dat, icon, and region. So I created this whole new server and made sure it worked. And then I literally just took the 2B2T spawn information, copied it over the original server. Like, I think it created its own new world and stuff like that. So I replaced the world that was in there, after which we launched the server. It takes a second to load, and I will go ahead and pause this here because I want to show you the result once I log in. So just one second. Alright, after thinking about it, I wanted to do one more thing so that you could see that there was absolutely no trickery. Alright, so inside the server here, we have the world launched and ready to go. It is currently up and going. The IP address to connect to that world is listed right here. It's my local computer, so it's got a local IP address. Now, from another computer, which I'm going to switch over here to in just a second, you will actually see it connect, and you'll actually see me logging into the server. So what I think I will do is I think I will show you that real quick. Let me direct connect into it. So as I'm logging in on the other computer, it should connect. Oh, hold on. I just realized I need to use 1.19.4 to log into it. Yeah, so I actually integrated this with 1.19.4 and the old 2B2T dataset. So, awesome. All right, let me go ahead and log into it. It should show that my name should pop up that I'm connecting to the server. And give it just a second. It does show that it's logging in. It says it's encrypting. And it does seem to be taking a second. Better pause this. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. It took a second, but as you can see, I have now officially logged into it. Give me one more second. I'm going to switch over so you can see what I see. Alright. Take a look at this. Now, if you've ever been to 2B2T, you know that the spawn is kind of like a wasteland. It is impossible to go and get out of. In fact, since I am not using any plugins or hacks or anything, let's take a look and see what we've got. Oh yeah! Take a look at this, guys. I must be sitting on top of the giant logo in the sky, but yeah, this is amazing. This is 2B2T to a Q. In fact, I spent a lot of time on 2B2T escaping spawn. In fact, I do have an account on there. I don't play it regularly because I do not have. Oh, you know what this is? This is the cube. This is the giant water cube that surrounds spawn to kill anybody who gets into it. In fact, while I was field testing this, I got into it, and then I started out in the middle of that cube, and then I died instantly. You see, it's designed, there have been a lot of traps and stuff like that set up. It is I want to say it's art to get out of spawn, but it certainly is one of the most challenging things I have ever done in Minecraft. Now, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get like somebody who comes along and they help you get out of spawn. Oops, I fell in the lake. Well, I'm stuck in here now. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of help from people who want to help you get out of spawn, and they'll give you a kit, which is totally, absolutely cool. Yeah, I have no capability to do much of anything here, but let's look around and let's see what I can see. See, if you're lucky, somebody will give you a kit, and you'll have the ability to get outside of spawn and get food. However, like with my first couple of attempts, which I died more than a couple of times, you generally, of course, you got to get outside of spawn and you got to go find food. And the process of doing that can take so long that a lot of times you'll just run out of health bar before you can do it. I mean, sometimes the players are nice, sometimes they help you out and stuff like that. But on an Anarchy server, more often than not, you'll find that a lot of people just tend to kill you. In fact, if you log on to the server on any given day, you'll find that a lot of the player base and stuff like that is really just there to, you know, be fully decked out and then kill you. You know, I was actually looking at 2B2T. They might have actually updated recently. I was looking at it. I connected to it, so I think they might actually be on the newer version now. But I need to go in and connect and try that formally, and 8 hours of waiting in queue is not too appealing. In fact, that's part of the reason why I created my own server, is because I wanted to have the ability to do stuff that I couldn't do on this one. In fact, incredible seed. You can basically spawn in. There's tons of resources and stuff like that. Getting outside of spawn right now is mostly a piece of cake. I call it beta because I haven't got everything in place yet, but you have the ability to create homes, you have the ability to CPA, you have the ability to do a lot of things. I'm even planning on putting some Easter eggs in there. You see, in fact, while I'm playing this, you can see that my health bar is running a little on the low side. Oh, look at that. We've escaped the water cube, but we're over what looks like a patch of oblivion. Our best bet to get out of this is to try to find some water, but we don't really want to travel down there. Our best bet is actually to stay up here and see if we can get as far out as possible before jumping off and going to ground. Another bad thing is if you'll notice, my health bar has almost been depleted. It is very unlikely that I will reach the end of this or get to any food before I hey, what's that? Before I pass away. Oh, interesting, a skelly horse. You know, I thought that it was not going to copy over mobs and stuff like that, but that is a player-made item right there. They must have brought this over. Oh, interesting. Now, I can't use it because I don't have a saddle, but yeah, I wasn't expecting that to copy over, and there it is. All right, let's keep heading west. So we're probably going to run out of food, and we're probably going to die. But that's also the fun of doing this, is playing with it and trying to get outside of spawn and doing whatever you can and surviving, and then sometimes rubbing it in the face of people later on when you come back to spawn. I've also, on more than one occasion, found really awesome stuff. Like, I found leftover equipment that was OP from previous duping and stuff like that. I tell you what, next to the server I just made, this is still my favorite server on the face of the planet. And let's look down and see what we got. See, it's dark down there because the whole of spawn is covered by this giant logo, which I might be able to show you real quick. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, I wanted to show you real quick. I found this one here. If you look at the progress of 2B2T, they made a giant logo made completely of obsidian all over spawn. In fact, you can see some of the smaller logos that are occurring here, and I thought that was just neat. These things are massive. In fact, if I go back to the game I am playing and almost dead on, that is what I am currently running on, a giant logo in the sky. So guys, I don't want to drag this on too much because I'm sure by now you're kind of like, well, I really want to try this 2B2T server thing. I don't have the capability to launch a full version of this online on an online server at 1.1 terabytes. I have a local machine I can do it with, but doing an online version of that is much, much harder. So what I do have is I do have an awesome server I want you guys to jump in and try out. It's really, really awesome. I highly, highly recommend it. I will, for the third time, post the IP address on the screen. And I will also make you guys a deal. If I blow up and I do really, really well and become an awesome channel, I will make a point to come back and do another video and launch this into a full-blown online server. Of course, by then, I am hoping my server will actually be really blown up and hyped and stuff like that too. So cross fingers, my server turns out to be as big as 2B2T eventually. But I think I will draw this video to a close here. Guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I will include a copy of the website and information on how I did this in the description field. I invite you to my server. I think that will pretty much cover it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of your week, and thank you for watching.